What's happening, everybody? This is Roberto Parker again with Innovative Sports Training. Today I'm going to talk about the 6 steps to reducing the aging process. Now, if you notice, it does not say anti-aging process. A few centuries ago, a guy by the name of Ponce de Leon came from Spain, I believe it was, or Portugal, one of those two countries from Europe, looking for the fountain of youth somewhere in Florida. Well, the fountain of youth really does not exist, guys. At least not in the external sense. It does exist within each and every one of us. It's within our hearts and in our minds to find that fountain of youth. Now, looking at that illustration there are some building block looking type of objects there. You see cortisol, thyroid, vitamin D3, insulin, sex hormones, and growth hormones. On the left-hand side is the catabolic. Catabolic means to tear things down in a stressful situation, like when you're working out or you're going for a hike, or maybe you had a stressful day at work, you're kind of worn out. Anabolic is when you build it back up through proper diet, through relaxation, through rest and sleep regeneration. So the two must be well balanced, which I'll go into here in a second. As of right now. Okay, at the top of the page there, number 1, there is our normal hormone balance. Now go to number 2 there. That is the catabolic side. The catabolic side, that is where you're tearing stuff down. Molecules are getting torn down. Muscles are being torn down. You just had a hard day at the office. Maybe you just went to the gym and had a good workout. Maybe you went for a long bike ride. So you're kind of worn out. It's basically stress. And during that stress process, things get torn down, which is good. Now, you don't want too much of that, but it must be countered with number 3 over there, the anabolic side. The anabolic side is when you rest, you relax, you meditate, you pray, you get the proper nutrition, and you build things back up. Now, number 4 down there. Now, as you can see, now the teeter-totter is tilted to the left, to the catabolic side. Too much stress, too much working out, too many hours at the office. Maybe you just filed for bankruptcy. Maybe you just lost your job. Things are really stressful for you. That can cause some health and medical complications in your life, which also adds to your aging. Now, number 5 over there. Now it's tilted to the right side. Insulin is way too high there. Insulin, as we all know, and I've done some previous webinars on this and video blogs, insulin is a satiety hormone, and when it becomes too high as a result normally of poor diet and too much sugar and too much carbohydrate, it has some issues regarding metabolic syndrome. So you don't want to be in that area either. You want to be where number 1 is. You want to be balanced. That is when you minimize the aging process. Number 1 there. Now here's an illustration of crash and burn. Now, when the scale gets tilted too much to the right or the left on a consistent basis, notice all of our building blocks have really minimized in size there. Cortisol, thyroid, vitamin D, insulin, sex hormones, and growth hormones. This person is very bad off. This person has all the symptoms listed below there. They're always sick. They have gum disease. They have weight issues. They're depressed. They forget a lot. They're possible type 2 or type 1 diabetic. They have MS, Alzheimer's, irritable, Parkinson's, cancer, Crohn's disease, arthritis, eczema, fibromyalgia, infertility, and there's others I could list there. Just when I don't have enough room for all of them. This person is aging quickly. Now, the first step to reducing the aging process. Food, that's a biggie. Now, my professional recommendation, 60 to 90% fat, healthy fats in your diet. 10 to 35% protein, 5 to 25% carbohydrates. Those macronutrient portions depend on your lifestyle. Someone who is extremely active, doing a lot of weightlifting, heavy construction work, I'm going to put them on more protein. Someone who is very sedentary, they're going to consume more good fat, less protein, less carbs, more around the 5 to 10% range. Someone who's kind of in the middle, who's moderate, 70 to 80% fat, 15, 20% protein, maybe 10, 15% carbs, possibly. Now, at the bottom of the pyramid there, you see it's mainly fat and protein. In the middle is fruits and vegetables. At the very top, we have nuts and coconuts. That is my professional advice, to eat more the paleo way. We're even sometimes getting into ketosis, which you can refer to my YouTube page to learn more about that. I've done some webinars on that as well. And at the bottom of the page here, you see a link by Mark's Daily Apple. You can go to that also. He has some very good pointers there, advice. Physical activity. Now, at the very bottom of the pyramid there, be active every day. Do something every day, not necessarily hardcore, kick your butt, draining working out, but just being active every day. Fun games, walking, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, bowling, maybe playing some frisbee with your kids or some close friends and family members. Now moving up a level, active sports. Moving up another level, flexibility, muscle training, strength training. At the very top, the things you should cut down on, sitting in front of a TV or your iPhone and just texting all day and looking at websites and watching movies or something. Avoid that. Be active every day, guys. You don't need to kick your butt every day, but just be active every day. Once again, at the bottom of the screen there, you see a link going to Mr. Mark Sisson's website. He has some very good pointers on that. The next one is sunshine. This is one that gets a bad rap because a lot of people think, well, if I get out in the sun, it's going to create skin cancer. And it can if you do it in a very dumb way. But you have to be smart about it. The ideal time of the day to expose your body to sun is when your shadow is equal to or shorter than you. And that usually is around the middle of the day. So around 9 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, if you stand in the sun and you can see your shadow and your shadow is taller than you, that's not the best time of the day for sun exposure. The safest time of the day is the middle of the day when your shadow is equal to or shorter than you. Do not use sunscreen. That blocks vitamin D. Vitamin D is a crucially important vitamin. It's a hormone to help you combat the aging process, to slow the aging process down. And most importantly, there is also just getting some fresh air in the lungs. And once again, at the bottom there, there's a blog that I wrote on sunshine exposure. Check that out. Water. I know so many people that I work with that don't drink enough water. They like to work out. They love to train. They love to maybe even get into eating the right kind of foods, but they don't drink enough water. And what I mean by water, I don't mean water out of the tap. Some good, clean, filtered water. And as you can see there, the body is mainly water. Brain, 75%, blood, 83%, bones, 22%, liver, 86%, muscle, 75%, kidneys, 83%. Drink at least half of your body weight in ounces of water every day. Now, if you're extremely active, you should drink more than that. There are times in summer, if I'm outdoors cutting grass, training other people, I'll drink over a gallon of water a day, easily, no problem. Sleep, another area that's not talked about enough. Many things happen at night when you're sleeping, guys. That is the time, that is your anabolic state, when your body is regenerating itself. You must get quality sleep, because this is the reason why. There's a thing called cellular regeneration. The ideal time to retire is around 10 o'clock for most people, as everybody knows that, okay? And the ideal time to get out of bed is 6 o'clock in the morning, which I don't always do myself. I'm just being open and honest. That really is the best time. Between the hours of 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., cellular regeneration occurs. That's when the muscles and organs are repairing themselves or rebuilding themselves. Additionally, the adrenal glands, which are important for stress hormones, do a considerable amount of repair during that time period from 11 until 1 a.m., along with the gallbladder dumping toxins which will be excreted from the body via urinary and fecal waste. However, if you stay up beyond 1 o'clock in the morning, those toxins can back up into the liver and muscle tissues, causing health complications. Now, from 2 until 6, there's what we call neurogenic regeneration, where your nervous system is repairing itself. So, one might say, well, Roberto, if I go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and sleep until 10, there's my 8 hours, right? But what have you cut out? You basically eliminated cellular regeneration. So now, if you work a job, guys, where you work late at night, you do what you have to do to support your family. But I'll be honest with you, there have been studies done that have shown that people who work a graveyard shift after 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night typically have a lot more health issues. But as I said, you do what you need to do to support your family. But my recommendation to you, that if you can change that, change it. Stress management. Well, there's a biggie. There's good stress and there's bad stress, but this mainly addresses the bad stress. If you have a stressed out day, take a bath using some Epsom salts and unrefined sea salts that will help to detox the body. Massage therapy. What that does, it activates endorphins and stimulates the lymphatic system to remove waste products from the body. Get outdoors. Go for a hike. That's what I do a lot of. Go for a walk, bike ride, get in some sun once again, breathe in some fresh air, relaxation techniques, meditation, prayer, reading. Now, reading does not mean reading a high-tech manual. Read something that's relaxing, like poetry or the Bible or something that's spiritual to relax you, especially when you're in bed at night before you go to sleep. Things you should avoid. These will age you faster if you do them on a consistent basis. Gluten, stay away from it. Dairy, stay away from it. Processed foods, trans fats, high fructose corn syrup, plastics, parabens, and beauty products, which are plastics. Overtraining, overexercising. Stay off of the electronic screens after 11 p.m. Now, all of these things right here are toxic to the body if they're done on a consistent basis. So you must avoid them as much as possible. That is my professional recommendation. Now, there are some age-related biomarkers that we can assess. I do that through my business by doing lab work and by doing some other question and answer type of surveys with you. There's a complete thyroid panel, which measures the strength of the thyroid, which is crucial for every cellular metabolic process in the body. Innovative Sports Training offers a complete thyroid panel for you. There's about 6 or 7 components to that. The adrenal profile, which measures the circadian rhythm of the stress hormone cortisol. The adrenal glands are closely tied in with the function of the thyroid. Telomere length, genetic material at the end of the chromosome whose main job is to prevent chromosome fraying. Telomere length can closely determine the biological age of the patient. In other words, after doing this lab or this assessment here, if you're age 60, but yet your biological age is 80, that's not so good. You're aging beyond your chronological years. However, if you're age 60 and your bio age is 40, that's pretty good. But it's also good to know that. C-reactive protein, protein made in the liver, which measures systemic inflammation and the potential of inflammation. Now guys, I don't shoot from the hip. Everything that I've thrown at you today and in the past are based on references, studies, surveys, and people who know a lot more than I do in this area. They're holistic practitioners. Here are a list of references. Check these references out. Do your own research. Do your own homework. Do your own studying. In fact, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to do so. Now, my name is Roberto Parker, of course. Here's my contact information. Innovative Sports Training offers hormonal evaluations, nutritional assessment with a custom program for the individual, lab assessments with lifestyle program designed for the individual, private training and consultations, sports performance training classes for speed, agility, strength for high-performance athletes and young athletes, circuit training classes, phone number 405-7703. There is my email. I have a website. I have 2 websites. There's my Facebook forum at the very bottom of the page. You can join that. If you have questions and answers about recipes, about food, about nutrition, about training, join and be a part of our group. Guys, it's been great sharing this information with you today. I appreciate your time, and God bless you.